Thank you, Mr. Leader. We are, you can tell, we're excited this morning about the resurgence of the U.S. economy and American strength again, and this is because of our policies, and you heard the leadership team talking a little bit about that already, and I just want to echo it. As 2026 begins, one of the reasons we're so excited is that we know that all the provisions of the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut, will be implemented, and so all boats will rise. As Treasury Secretary Bessent said a couple weeks ago, he said 2025 was setting the table, and the banquet and the feast will be in 2026. And it begins in earnest now. Americans will start filing their tax returns after January 26th, and they'll begin to see immediately the real effects of the legislation that we brought and all the great things that have been done. Our Working Families Tax Cut, of course, prevented the largest tax hike in U.S. history. It would have been a crushing blow to the U.S. economy and every hardworking family. But we not only prevented that disaster, we also went forward. We made permanent the tax cuts of the first Trump administration, and then we went even further than that. We removed taxes on tips and overtime. We reduced the tax burden on seniors and so many different categories of American workers. Hundreds of pro-growth policies that were in the legislation that we passed last year, and everybody's going to be feeling that America First pro-growth policies result now. A reminder, you've heard it said here a few times, it cannot be forgotten that Democrats voted against every bit of this. There's no way they can take any credit for any of it because they're on record, and that voting record can't be changed. They give lip service to this new term they've coined, affordability, but we were all talking about the prices that were too high and the cost of living for a long, long time, and everybody in this room knows that. Our aim in drafting the Working Families Tax Cut was very simple. We wanted to make life more affordable again for American families. We wanted to reduce that cost of living, particularly lower and middle class earners who really did take it on the chin over the 4 years of the Biden administration. Bidenomics that they tried to tell us is so great for everyone. Everyone knew it was exactly the opposite. And the results are already bearing out. So as of today, you've heard it references today, 43 of 50 U.S. states, just look at one metric, gas prices. We now have under $3 per gallon. In fact, the average, national average right now is $2.79 a gallon for gasoline. You've got 19 states where you can buy gasoline for less than $2 a gallon, and that's a result of good policy. Now contrast that, just on the gas prices, one metric. Contrast that with what we were all experiencing under the Biden administration, okay? Despite their draining the strategic petroleum reserve to deflate prices artificially, which was a disastrous policy idea in its own right, gas prices still reached record highs, and the national average for a gallon of gasoline was more than $5 a gallon under Biden. Now, it's under $3. And under the Biden years, it cost Americans more than $60 just to fill up a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry. And now everybody's buying the big trucks again, you know. Thanks to sound economic and energy policy that has restored American energy dominance, those days of the Biden years are over, and we're going into overdrive. And we're not going backwards. This is not some talking point. This is real economic data. It proves that Trump policies, Republican policies, achieve better economic outcomes for all of our constituents, and they will reverse the Democrats' cost of living crisis. And you heard the leader mention some of these other metrics, and you're all seeing them pile up now. Inflation is down. Interest rates are down on housing. I think that will continue to go in a positive direction. Certainly as we change over Fed chairs in early summer and all the rest. And then you saw the economic growth numbers. I mean, they're really exceeding every expectation. In Q2 of last year, it was about 3.8% GDP, the growth, and then it went to 4.1% in Q3, and the latest estimates from the Fed right now, the working number is 5.1% economic growth in Q4. I mean, that's incredible. And it took a little while because we had to reverse the Biden administration policies, but the policies of this administration and this Republican Congress are working for the American people. It's no secret as we look to the action in Congress this week and next week, the public's trust in Congress has waned over time. A lot of reasons for that. And if you poll visitors in the CVC, for example, you probably receive a variety of answers on what theory is on why. Social media doesn't help, of course, because everybody can go online every 2 seconds and say what they're disgruntled about, and Congress takes it on the chin. But every member of this institution has a personal duty to do their part to restore the trust of the Congress. And particularly as we begin our 250th year as a nation. And I think this is a really important theme. But along that line, Republicans are going to take an important step in our efforts to restore the people's faith in Congress. And one of those big issues is the Stop Inside Trading Act. Now, I want to tip my hat to Congressman Brian Stile. He's the chairman of our House Administration Committee, and he's done an excellent job navigating through the various provisions of this and all the members and making sure everybody's on board. Everybody wants to block and stop nefarious activity and insider trading, but it needs to be done in a thoughtful manner, and Brian Stile's done a great job. So members of our House Republican Conference have worked on this issue for years, and the result is a bill that I think we'll be able to pass with I hope a wide bipartisan margin. And it's the direct result of all that advocacy. And, of course, outside groups and online watchdogs who have advocated for this kind of thing for some time. Obviously, members of Congress should not be allowed to profit from insider trading. Obviously, doing so abuses the office and diminishes trust here in Congress, and it flies in the face of the oath that we all took before beginning our service here. And we won't be able to change public opinion overnight, but I think with strides like this, the American people can begin to recognize again that Congress can be trusted, and we're working hard, Republicans are, to earn back that trust. Lastly, on the FY26 appropriations, this will be the second consecutive week that House Republicans will advance another set of FY26 approach bills. And I just want to say, I told you so. So many people in this room thought we would never do this again. And a lot of members didn't believe it either. They didn't believe we could actually break the end-of-year Christmas omnibus fever and all that. And we're so proud that work has come to fruition. And so this week you'll see passage of the National Security and Related Programs Funding Bill as well as the Financial Services and General Government Funding Bill. There's no omnibus, there's no CR. We really do believe we'll be able to prevent that. And a lot of hard work's gone in. And I'll say, on both sides of the aisle among the appropriators who've done a really good job. Congress is reclaiming the power of the purse, and these two bills are a big step in that. We've already, of course, passed 6 appropriation bills, and we'll be at 8 by the end of this week. And next week, the final four measures, we're very optimistic. We put in that last bill, and we will get that over the line and get it to the president's desk for